be talking about today is Unveiling the Mind, Exploring ADHD in the Workplace. Once again, I'm Lauren, Lauren Subchuk. I'm the Career and Skill Development Specialist here at Goodwill. A little bit about my background. I've worked in nonprofit for 23 years. I hold a bachelor's in psychology, a bachelor's in social work, and I'm also a registered social worker here in Alberta. So just a little bit about Goodwill before we begin. Goodwill Industries of Alberta is a local non-for-profit that strengthens the community through the donations of gently used goods. We also support people with disabilities, and we are committed to sustainability. A program within Goodwill is the Employer Inclusion Accelerator Program. This program has the goal of helping and educating employers to become a more inclusive workplace. Some things the Employer Inclusion Accelerator Program can help you with is policy review and optimization, hiring support, coaching employers, community engagement, and connecting with resources. So I'd just like to start off with this quote. According to Goodwill, establishing a culture of health and well-being at work creates an environment where employees feel valued, supported, and stimulated to perform at their best in the work they do that they find meaningful. One thing I enjoy about this quote is the research shows in our working lives, we spend about 6% of our adult lives at work. So it makes sense that we understand some of these mental health and wellness topics so we can better support our team members, our teammates, just so we all can succeed and just do the best we can do. So what is ADHD? ADHD means attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's a neurodevelopmental disorder. It's one of the most common neurodevelopmental disorder in children. It's also a lifelong neurodevelopmental disorder. And we've had it for a long time. Signs and symptoms of ADHD were noted over 2 centuries ago in medical textbooks. What causes it? Right now, the medical community is not sure. They think it might be a combination of genetics and environmental factors. So when people think of symptoms of ADHD, they might think of, oh, maybe a child, like they're being disruptive in class. They might be running up and down the hallways. Of course, these disturbances are problematic within the classroom and at home too. But what some people don't realize is since ADHD can be a lifelong disorder, adults too can have ADHD. Some of the symptoms we see in adults, poor listening skills, frequent daydreaming, trouble concentrating and staying focused, struggling to complete tasks, and quickly getting bored. Some ADHD facts. Over time, hyperactivity and that impulsiveness we see in children, it might reduce in adulthood. That's why you might be working with somebody as an adult, and you might not know they might be struggling with ADHD. ADHD is more common in males than females. Worldwide, 5.9% of youth and 2.8% of adults have ADHD. Also in Canada and other countries, we are seeing an upward trend in people being diagnosed. Now, it's believed that the rates are increasing. It's just that our helping community, we are realizing and recognizing the symptoms more easily. That's why we might be seeing this upward trend that we're able to help people who are going through ADHD. Also, with support, an employee can be a very valuable asset. Grace, these are your slides. Are you there, Grace? Okay.
Can you hear me now? Oh, I apologize.
Okay, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. Benefits of supporting an employee with ADHD. As stated by Robbins, Accordingly, ADHD employees have a special propensity to outperform other employees when managed properly, meaning that when an employer provides the support and accommodation a staff needs, this can help them thrive. But as will be mentioned later, these supports may also help other staff in the process who do not have ADHD, but which can lead to higher employee engagement and performance for everyone. How to support an employee with ADHD? All the little things like deciding for yourself in what order things should be done, how they should be done, what exactly we are in need of. Those things take a lot of time and energy for me, which it doesn't always do for my colleagues. Okay, so this quote is from a participant from a study about working adults with ADHD. And as can be seen from this quote, a person with ADHD has a hard time deciding for themselves how things should be done and in which order. So to help them, having a more structured work environment will help. So what does an unstructured work environment look like? An example of an unstructured work environment is one in which the employees are given their work task and they decide when and how to complete them. To many, this can be rewarding. It can be a rewarding experience, but to a person with ADHD, they will require structure in order to complete tasks. A person with ADHD will benefit from having structure because they need that guidance and knowing what work needs to be done and in what order. So to help them, a more structured work environment could be introduced. And the following slide will give you some tips on how to bring structure.
Thank you, Grace. So how do you support an employee with ADHD? First tip is time management. So I would just like to ask everyone in the chat in this call, what do you two notice about these two pictures? Can anyone just point out something that popped out for you?
They're very visual and colorful.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Sherry. Yeah, you look at the picture on the left. This person is very organized with their time management. Everything's color coded. So for like example, maybe the color blue for them is, oh, that's an important meeting I need to attend. And maybe the color pink is the days that they know that a very important document needs to be handed in. Also, with the picture next to it, that's called a Gantt chart. So this is also another time management strategy that every color represents a different task they need to complete, and each bar, the length, shows how long they have to complete that task. So for example, the first green bar, research, this person has allotted 2 weeks to complete it. And yeah, also another strategy is analog clock. So people with ADHD, they have a hard time internalizing the passage of time internally. This is called time blindness for them. So one strategy that's been shown to be helpful for a person with ADHD is to just have an analog clock on the wall. They can see the hands moving, so that gives them a visual clue to stay on task. But also the ticking sound of the clock is also a sound cue that they need to be focusing on their work. Some other ways to support employees with ADHD in the workplace is to look at if there's any distractions in the workplace. As you can see from this bar graph, the biggest bar, 80%, is chatty coworkers. Research shows that having that support at work, having some of those work friendships, it actually increases productivity and creativity, which is a good thing. But one thing you want to be mindful of is, say if people like to have a chat around a coffee machine in the kitchen, but the employee with ADHD, their workstation is right next to the kitchen, it might be a good idea to reassign them to another workstation just to help them focus and not to be as distracted. Also, the second biggest bar here is 70%, the office noise. Sometimes this is unavoidable if you're working in a warehouse environment or you're downtown, lots of traffic. So one thing that you could do to help an employee with ADHD is maybe the company can purchase them noise canceling headphones so they can focus on their work. Oh no. So when a manager hands out tasks, sometimes the instructions to them make sense, but might make sense to an employee with ADHD, or just to any employee sometimes. So that's why it's important to have precise language. So I'm going to show the group two pictures. I just want to give you guys a few seconds to look at it and to see if you could understand the instructions. Yeah, pretty precise language here, right? No, it's not. The picture on the left, it only has 3 instructions on how to make a paper swan. This is not precise language, and anyone could get confused on how to do it. The picture on the right, color half the sweets. Technically, it is correct, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't the instructions the person was trying to convey. So this is why it's very important to have precise language. So if you are to help an employee, when you do hand out tasks, maybe also give them a checklist with precise language on every single point that needs to be completed for that assignment or task you give them. Other ways to support employees with ADHD, regular check-ins. Some companies, they might do quarterly check-ins or yearly check-ins, but the research shows to support an employee with ADHD, they really benefit from regular check-ins. And they don't need to be long, maybe just 5 minutes, just coming to check in with them. Sorry. So some questions you could be asking is, what's working well today? What's not working well today? What barriers are standing in your way, and how can I help you clear them? So for example, maybe your employee with ADHD, they're very distracted by the noise. So maybe a potential solution is maybe if the boardroom's open and it's quieter, they can work there for the day so they can be more focused on their work and not distracted. Also, giving honest feedback. People with ADHD really get help from getting that honest feedback, doing those regular check-ins, because of course they want to do the best job they can. So giving them honest, clear feedback has been shown to improve their performance and make them a more happy employee. Other ways to support an employee with ADHD, the research suggests recording meetings. Of course, this is a case-by-case basis. With people in the meeting, everyone has to consent, and the company might not consent because there might be trade secrets being discussed. So this might not be an option for you. So yeah, definitely get consent and make sure the company is okay with it. If not, then this is not an option for you. Second option that you could do maybe is send a follow-up email about the key points that was talked about in the meeting. Just so the employee, as I spoke about, is some people with ADHD have a hard time concentrating, so sending a follow-up email would be helpful. So we've talked a lot about some tips and strategies that we can help employees with ADHD, but these benefits can also help everyone. You might have an employee that, yeah, it's very loud in the office today, so maybe having multiple noise canceling headsets might be helpful for anyone to help them focus on their work, increase productivity. We also talk about using precise language, maybe introducing a color coding system, and having those regular check-ins to help not only the employee with ADHD, but everyone in the office. So yeah, we talked a lot about what the employer can offer the employee, but I'm going to show you a video about employer, his experience with himself living with ADHD. Oops. Why is this not working? Sorry about this. It was working a while ago. Slideshow. Oh. Ah. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. The video was working. I don't know why it wasn't working. But that video was from the perspective of a CEO, and he found that when he told his employees he has ADHD, other employees felt more comfortable coming to him saying, yeah, I have ADHD, and I need support too. So when we give employees the supports they need, the research shows they do excel. This slide, this is a personal remark from an employee with ADHD. I find it easy to come up with multiple ways to solve a problem. I'm also able to choose between them. Also, I never get stumped in a situation, whereas I see other colleagues get stumped. As you can see, if we can support people with ADHD, they could be an amazing asset to the company and the benefits they bring to the team to ensure everyone excels and are very productive. If you have any other questions or you want to reach out to us, please, here's our contact details, eia@goodwill.ab.ca. And we would love to work with you and assist you making your workplace a more inclusive place. And thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Once again, I'm sorry the video didn't work. It was working this morning. No one has any questions?
Is it possible to throw the link to the video in the chat and then everyone can take a look at it later?
Yeah, great idea. Thank you, Sherry. Where is it? Yeah, we'll definitely get that done. There it is. Thank you. Great. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the comments, and yeah, I hope the tips help a bit. And yeah, if you have any questions, please reach out to EIA at Goodwill, and we would love to help you.